Hello and welcome! Tonight on the show, we have a deli delight in the form of Durkee's famous sauce. Give it a squeeze. We are so excited to have you. This is Sauce Spoken.
And we're back. We are Sauce Spoken. We're the podcast detailing your favorite sauces, dips, and condiments. My name's Adam, and I'll be your host, and I'm joined here this week by my co-host, Tori.
Oh, hello. I'm glad everyone woke up after their turkey tryptophan-induced coma. We certainly did. Thanks again. This is Sauce Spoken, and my name is Tori, and to my right, as per the usual, the fella, he's from another astroplane from a reverse dimension. Right outside Nirvana, also known as a suburb of Pittsburgh, our friend and co-host E. Hi, E.
It's where the Demogorgon stays, that's right.
The Gorgo.
The upside-down world.
Yeah.
It's reverse.
Yeah, my life kind of seems a little backwards. Hello, happy Thursday to everyone. It's always great to be here with Sauce Spoken. So, Adam?
What?
You want to take it away? Your favorite thing in the world to do?
No, I like to wait until you're talking and then interrupt you.
Oh.
It's much more funny that way. Which is kind of interesting because you have a new little surprise for us. In addition to my little surprise, you have a little surprise for us here that we're sitting at, Eric.
I do.
And now it's time to catch up with the host.
There you go.
Time to catch up.
Nice.
Tell us about your new thing. Tell us about the new thing we're sitting at here, E.
We have a floating table topper game table by...
new to the Nerd Palace.
Yeah. What's the company's name? I forget now. Gaming.
Brought to you by Barks and Coca-Cola.
Table of Ultimate Gaming, which is no longer a company. They went out of business after a few, 3 years, I think. So,
Oof, gave it hell.
Their attempt to fulfill Kickstarter and failed. So,
which we're talking about. So, for the listeners, we're a new addition to the Nerd Palace. Eric has assembled this new, bigger gaming table on top of his old hexagonal gaming table. And it's just a tabletop that he has mounted below with some 2x4s that he got from Home Depot. And it's a Kickstarter evidently, but I'm a little bit baffled at least because I don't understand what there is here to have gone out of business with because it's a very simple design. It's just some stained plywood and a lower deck and then some leaves that go in on top, and there's really not that much to it. So
no, yeah, it was a lot cheaper. These gaming tables are usually around $2,600 to $6,000. So this was not that expensive. This was a much cheaper Kickstarted version, and I was like, oh, that's cool. This is a little table topper assembly, and it's kind of rickety. It's kind of like what you get. You get what you pay for, unfortunately. So
I think it's perfectly adequate. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just it's not mounted to you didn't mount it with the legs. You chose instead to mount it over top of an existing table that's not really made to have a topper go on top of it like this.
True.
I think it's made specifically for a square table, and your table is smaller, much smaller than this, and hexagonal. So, and it's already was a centrally supported table. It didn't have legs. So it was already slightly unstable to begin with, and you've just increased the moment arm on it. So
I did, unfortunately. With the beauty of a pedestal table is that it doesn't get in the way of the legs, don't get in the way of people around it. So you can have a nice crowd of people around this table playing
as
a
you
game.
Frequently do.
As I do
Crowds,
not.
hordes of people at your house.
I'm still trying to get over $2,600 for a table. You said that I almost fell off my chair over here.
Well, I think he's meaning nothing at all like this one. I think is what he's trying to say. I think he's meaning a very, very fancy oak or walnut, gaming table with ebony leaves and shit, and not something that's made from plywood. And
you'd be surprised. Those ones, a really nice one by Wormwood. I'll throw that company name out there. Their tables are closer to $6,000.
That's unreal. What kind of table you get for $6,000?
Theirs is nice. Their entire deck actually has some sort of hinged mechanism, so you can set the depth between 2 and 4 inches, depending on what kind of game you're playing.
Wow, that is some hella nerd shit.
Yeah,
wow.
That's advanced industrial nerd shit, as a matter of fact.
They're based out of Boston, and they do a great job. Their company has grown to a $30 million company or something like that. So in the span of 3 years,
they sold 12 tables.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they figured out the table game better than these folks did.
Yeah, holy cow.
These guys were making chairs instead.
How much did you buy this thing for, Eric? What was the cost on this?
This is just under 1,000. It was like it was about 950 all said and done.
You're a crafty dude, Eric. I think you could have built this, to be quite honest.
You're only seeing like half of it.
I see the 2x4s that you mounted to the bottom of it.
Right?
Is that something you're including in that figure?
There's more components to it, but
What else does it do?
well, like I said,
You said you're missing a leaf.
Missing a leaf, and then all the table toppers for a 6-foot by 4-foot table gaming area, and then there's a bunch of attachments that cleat on to all the sides, so you have a little added like cup holders and little notepad writing areas. Like I could have brought up.
But
like
where are they?
They're all downstairs.
Oh, okay.
In
So
the
you do
closet.
have those at least.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I can see some value there then. Still kind of weird. What else did you have going on with this week, Eric? Anything else exciting?
I also cleaned up my backyard, trimmed my bushes, swept a bunch of leaves out there in the front, even though you can't tell it because they just blew right back in overnight.
Of course.
Of
Yeah.
course. That's how yard work goes. Work's been good. I looked at some financials, been hitting up the Hinge every day like somebody's been egging me to do.
Right.
Definitely
no benefit to you. You're just doing it to make that other person happy.
No, it's of benefit. It's good.
Yes, it is, Eric.
It's been a good week. So
Wowee.
been very busy. Haven't watched much. And I shouldn't say not saying I didn't watch any TV, but I've definitely watched less.
Naps?
No naps.
No naps.
Nice.
Naps don't count if they're under an hour, Tori.
That's right. That's resting my eyes. That's
Right.
what that's called.
Dad mode.
No naps at all.
Well
no
done.
nap.
E.
No nap November is what we're currently.
No VAP.
No vape, Tori? Uh-oh.
Oh no.
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 Extra vape.
Extra is right.
What about you, Tori? What'd you get into this week?
Well, the Christmas decorations are up.
Dun dun.
Yeah, and then they came crashing down shortly thereafter. Yeah, boo. The cat likes them, man. It's a tree. I mean, he is a cat, so I can't.
The little orange Grinch that stole Christmas.
That little goblin. Yeah, well, at least he forced Christmas downstairs where he can't go.
Right.
But, yeah.
I feel like that saying would be more appropriate if it was a bird. It's a bird, it's a tree, it makes more sense. But I guess,
don't know.
cats climb.
Wild cats, yeah. I mean,
Wild cats.
he's a wild man. There's
Never
no
been
question.
outside.
Yeah. So, yes. He's,
He's rambunctious.
He is. He's a wild man. He's been featured on Instagram.
Well, what did he do last year? He was a very small kitten last year, right? But
Yes.
he was still there for Christmas. So
we didn't decorate.
Oh,
Yeah, we didn't bother because we knew that was going to be an
Yep.
issue, so it didn't even.
Yep, you
Didn't
thought
even do
maybe
it.
he had matured slightly this year,
Yeah,
and instead he just got bigger.
it waited for a long. Yeah, I mean, he waited for 3 weeks before
Alright.
he actually started getting real bold. So
Okay.
more time than I would have gave it.
Yeah, that's
Shockingly, no glass ornaments were broken.
Wow.
Believe it or not.
Okay.
At least not to my knowledge. So yeah, I can't wrap my mind around that, but
My cats don't bother the tree. They just like to go sit under the tree and look pretty.
that would be nice.
I know. They're good little kitties. They're well behaved.
That would be a nice
most part.
thing for them to do, but they don't.
Wait, is it both of them or just the little orange one?
It was hard to tell. I think it's a little orange.
Yeah, I would imagine.
That would be my guess, but
Your big cat is kind of more of just to sit there and kind of chill cat until he gets bitey.
yeah.
And he does. He draws
Oh,
blood.
Yeah,
Yes, he gets very aggressively bitey.
He lets you have it. But yeah, so I mean, Christmas decorations up and then subsequently down.
Honestly, the picture I saw, it looked like Amy probably did the most damage, but
Yeah, I slept right through it. I didn't have no idea what was going on, and I should have noticed the tree not being there as I sauntered from the bed to the coffee maker, and I didn't.
Right.
And by the time I got downstairs and I seen the tree there all disheveled.
So this all happened at night.
Yeah,
The tree was moved at night and all this.
the tree came down, crashed, moved, and then
Huh.
I
would have waited till the morning to fix it. All right, very good though.
Yeah. So that's Christmas trees down here. Okay.
Neat.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I know for my week, I didn't really do a whole lot either. I spent my whole weekend working on my kitchen. I'm going to make it a bitchin' kitchen. No, I'm just kidding. But I am actually working on my kitchen. But that was pretty much all I did. So not a lot of excitement there. But I know that you brought a little treat for us, Tor. We've been switching up the way that we're bringing the sauces. And so 2 weeks ago was Eric's. Last week was my contribution. And this week it's a little Tory contribution.
That's right.
We teased this a little bit last week. So why don't you reveal for the listeners what we're looking at here?
Sure. The big secret. You guys ready? So what I have for you here, and this was all the grand design. It's unfolding right before your eyes. So dig this. What we have is Durkee's famous sandwich and salad sauce. So as the grand design unfolds, your boy was thinking, because everyone's sitting around eating leftover turkey sandwiches, what better sauce can be put on a turkey sandwich other than Durkee's? You see this? This is big brain time. This is what we got going on over here. So, but Durkee's is a personal favorite of mine, and we'll certainly get into this. I've been having this on a whole number of things for years and years. But there you go, Durkee's. I think it's about time it showed up.
Absolutely.
We've been talking about this for quite a while. And, so I suppose I'll pass it off to whomever wants to describe it in any visual dimension they wish. But so tonight we got Durkee's to go with your turkeys.
Now, we teased this last week for the listeners, and it was funny because I said to the listeners, remember the 5th of November. No, I'm just kidding. Although that was pretty close to when we recorded that. What did we record on the 5th of November?
I think we did, actually.
That wasn't last week in any case, but no, we did. I did tell the listeners to remember because we were saying that to Eric, we were saying that Turkey's is similar to this sauce, and Eric said, "What do you mean Turkey is similar to this sauce? It's nothing to do with that sauce." Eric, turkey, Durkee, Durka, Jesus Christ, and you're like, I don't get it.
Gobble, gobble.
It wasn't that I hadn't get it. I just had forgotten what the name of the sauce was. And what's really interesting is even looking at the bottle, Tori, as you were brought it out here and telling us about how it's your favorite, all I see is famous sauce. It's all my eyes are drawn to. Famous sauce. It's just famous sauce. I immediately blank out whoever the manufacturer is. I don't even register. It's not part of the bottle.
That sounds like a personal problem, dude.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, it is there.
It's there. I don't think it's part of the
Definitely
name.
There.
Maybe it is part of the name. I don't know. I think it's called Famous Sauce Sandwich and Salad, which is a weird name for a product.
You think it's called Famous Sauce Sandwich and Salad?
Famous.
That's what it looks like.
Name. The Durkee's has no factor.
Turkey has no factor.
Okay, well, let's let the listeners decide. Why don't you go ahead and do a visual description of the outside of the container that we're looking at?
So we have ourselves a plastic squeeze bottle.
Christ.
It looks sort of like a mustard bottle, a little wider at the bottom, slightly tapered up to the shoulders of the bottle. A very short neck and about a 1.5 inch, maybe 1 1/4 inch diameter of the top of the bottle. And when you open it up, it's got a sizable opening and like a squeeze bottle sort of.
Would you call it like a 6 millimeter opening, Eric?
Yeah, you're pretty close to about 1/4 inch. Yeah.
Well done. I was told not to get excited about on-air conversion, so I'm not going to.
Who told you that?
I mean,
we both
that
did.
was obvious by the reaction from you two knuckleheads. So I don't give a rat's ass. You can convert all you'd like. I don't care. How about that?
It's this really cool turquoise color on the cap and on the label as well. Almost like
it's
turquoise or even like a robin's egg blue.
Yeah, that's what I would say, like a baby boy blue.
It's got a little deepness, like something deeper than baby boy blue. I always picture baby blue being slightly more, closer to sea foam. I like that.
All right.
I like that color.
Bonus pack, 20% more in yellow right above it. And then it has their logo, which is Durkee,
which you missed
right on the front.
I'm glad you noticed it
Top
that
and
time.
Center, large text.
It's fairly large, not as large as Famous Sauce. The text is white and it's on a red background on like a pill. And
pill? Hold on, turn that around.
An elongated slot. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Look like a zany bar for you, E.
The Famous Sauce is in a large yellow elliptical. And then it has sandwich and salad on a... Yeah. It's an ellipse.
Yeah. It's not an elliptical. An elliptical is the thing you walk on.
Something you walk on. Okay.
It is an ellipse.
The background of an ellipse. It has a red banner across the center. It says sandwich and salad.
On an exercise machine.
And it says fine quality since 1857. A tangy mustard mayonnaise flavor. Okay. So... that's interesting. And then they give a even more in-depth description on the bottom, which I won't even bother going into because we're going to give our own thoughts on it. Unless you guys think you guys should.
Well, I don't read it. I don't know what it says.
It's a creamy deli spread that goes great with sandwiches and sliced meats. Add zest to coleslaw, potato salad, and makes... That's what it says.
Say coleslaw?
Coleslaw.
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 And makes a tangy sauce for meats and vegetables.
What's the stuff that you shovel into a train to power it?
Coal.
Interestingly, that is the KO is actually the company symbol for Coca-Cola, one of our corporate sponsors.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Which also bringing you Sauce Spoken and Barks Root Beer. Barks has bite, just like this sauce.
Then the back of the label is just all yellow. Yeah, we are.
Satiric license, damn it.
Anything for listeners.
Yeah.
This is kind of
corporate
weird,
lawyers.
too. I wonder where this was procured there, Tori.
That was procured from Amazon.
Oh, wow, that's why.
Yeah.
Why,
So-
what does it say?
Well, there's a label over top of the back of the label that they would normally
Oh.
scan to check it out, and it's like a weird barcode, so that would be why.
I think it's interesting because the last time we had this, and what I was envisioning was in a glass jar. We got this one in your typical, like you said, kind of like the small format mustard containers that you see often in a grocery store. But I would distinctly remember having this before out of a glass jar.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, historically, it's always been out of a glass jar. Maybe it's an Amazon thing because
Yeah.
they're shipping it.
Yeah.
Plastic would be a better idea.
That's my guess.
I think you can still get it in a glass jar in the store.
Oh, I definitely would think so. You probably can get it in a glass jar on Amazon, too. You probably just got to pay more for it, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
It does bear mentioning. Do you remember what you paid for this tour?
Oh, heck. I mean, I got it off Amazon, so we could look it up easily enough. But, I mean, ballpark, I want to say $350 maybe.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. That's pretty good, I think, for shipping a liquid. So,
It's a good price.
Yeah, I had to get my dryer vent cleaner to get free shipping
Right.
on that order. If you
Right.
guys remember that little anecdote.
I do remember that little anecdote. But I guess without further ado
Still
here.
haven't used it, by the way, but
Oh, no?
no.
Bring it over here. I need to use
I'm
it.
getting lazy. We can.
The suck butt. Well, I'll go ahead and I'll give us a little visual description of the actual sauce that we're looking at itself there. And I would say it's pretty homogeneous looking. It's very much like a pale golden color, and it's got some very tiny little imperceptible flecks in it, but I think it's also trapping a pretty good number of like air bubbles in there, which make it looks like it has more flecks in it than it really does. But yeah, I would say it's like a khaki, tannish, brownish, yellowish color. It's a very neutral tone, and like I said, not a whole lot of noticeable. It's very thick. I will say that. I would say it definitely looks like, if you look inside the bottle, it has kind of the same appearance as mayo does when it settles. More so than like a mustard, and it definitely passes the blizzard test. I can hold it upside down here. It's not going anywhere, as you
It ain't
guys can
moving.
see. It's not moving at all. And the other thing I think is interesting, if you look around the very top little edge, where it's kind of settled into this jar here, there's like a clear delineation between the bottom of the sauce and the clear plastic there. And at the very ridge of that, you can almost see a little bit of like an oily appearance, and I think that is indicative of like the mayo, like the oiliness in the mayo. And you just get that little bit of sheen on top there. I don't know if you guys noticed that. But to me, that definitely screams mayo. But other than that, there's not really a whole else lot going on with the sauce itself. It's pretty indistinct, pretty plain, appearance-wise.
I think that's fair to say. Yeah. Yeah, I got a nice big finger schleck this time.
Nice.
And I didn't see any of those particles you mentioned.
No, yeah, they're definitely air bubbles. When you hold up close, I was wondering what he was talking
I
about.
do think that there are like some minuscule brown flecks in there too. Like there's a couple of them floating around, not in the cup because those are from chicken nuggets.
Of course, those are the remnants of the nugs.
But I do think there legitimately are some in there. It's just that mostly it's a bunch of tiny little air bubbles. See any in there, or is that just me? I thought I saw a couple.
I'm with E on this one. I do think that they are. Oh, man, there's maybe one.
There's a
little
million of air
black.
bubbles. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
right,
think that
there's
there
one right
are
by that
some.
seam right there. I don't know.
Yeah, I do think there are
Questionable.
some, but it is mostly air bubbles. Yes.
Definitely mustard-like consistency. Yeah, I thought you guys did a pretty damn good job explaining both inside and out.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, I think if
No,
you
no
saw
question.
a little cup of this just sitting on like a table, you'd immediately think honey mustard.
Honey mustard or the Chinese mustard that comes out of the packet that we did.
I think
the
it's,
lady mustard.
Yeah, I think it's closer to that color. I think like the honey mustard tends to go more for that artificial yellowy tone sometimes. Whereas I think this has more of that like natural. The color is definitely more indicative of like a natural mustard. It's the texture and consistency that is much more mayo-like, I would say.
For sure.
Interesting. Let's go ahead and get on to our initial tasting notes. Eric, do you want to lead us off with that?
Sure. I take always a page out of Tori's notebook there. I know he guards it with his life, but smell first. We've all been taught well by Tori.
Smell
to
first.
smell
It's
first.
like chemistry class. Take a big whiff. Get your nose in there.
Waft it towards you.
And I should have wafted towards me. Tell you what, I stuck my nose right in there, took a big sniff, and it was like, "Ooh, this is horseradish." You immediately smell
Really?
horseradish,
Okay, let me try.
Wow, I didn't get horseradish.
or at least that's what It's very pungent. I noticed like what I thought was horseradish, and then that first bite, it didn't let me didn't let me down. I thought I tasted horseradish too.
Really?
So
Wow.
I thought it packed a punch. It was
All right.
very, very flavorful. My first item I tried on, and we actually had 2 different tasting articles to this night. We tried it on our fun Dino Nuggies, and we also tried it on some mini corn dog bites.
Handheld, yeah. No stick.
Why are they mini corn dog bites? Why can't they just be mini corn dogs?
It's cute.
Because no stick. If they were a mini corn dog, they might still have a stick.
Okay.
They have a toothpick.
I'm stretching.
Give you plausible on that one. Yeah, I know you said, Eric, that you really had to make room in your freezer in order to accommodate the 20-pound turkey that you're going to steal from little Timmy and little Tammy and their mom struggling to get by.
That's right.
I need a 20-pound turkey. I can't afford food.
Too busy buying $1,000 tables.
Right? Yeah,
Not only that, but Eric, that when you return to work post-Thanksgiving, people are going to be loading you up with leftovers because they think you're homeless. We've talked about this before. You've got these people fooled.
I hope so.
That's going to happen.
The leftover thing has definitely died down. I haven't gotten as much leftovers.
Yeah, probably because people realize that you're stealing turkeys out from under them. This guy doesn't need anything.
I don't think they care about the turkey thing either. It's just a nice gift that our company
That you
does
steal.
for our people who work at my my job. So I really appreciate
the
what they
turkey
do
that
for us, and I like my job. That's the saddest thing about it is I really enjoy my job, but there's no doubt about it. I also need to be job.
Do you really
job hunting.
enjoy your job, or just you enjoy that it's easy and you don't have to think about it most of the time? You can be on autopilot.
No, I'm still learning stuff. Even today, I was actually learning how to do half shears and like impressions into steel, which is really interesting forming calculations. Plus, my old bend table is not nearly as fleshed out as it could be. So
You really feel challenged at this job, Eric?
I'm still learning things that are new.
I didn't say you're still learning.
No, do I feel challenged? I mean, at times,
you can
there's
still-
challenging things. I was there today until 4.
There's definitely a curve there where the taper's off. You learn a lot at first, and you're like, yeah, you're gonna learn things. Like I learn new things about driving every day, but it's not revolutionizing my idea of it.
So you hate driving? That because you're not constantly learning things about driving. You're
No,
just
I didn't
you don't
say I
you hate
hated driving. I'm just saying that I think that you're mistaking like never learning anything in your job for being challenged and satisfied and having a successful career path, maybe. But I don't know.
So never learning anything. I don't know. I'm still learning more about Inventor, but yeah. I'm gonna forget where we're going with here.
You
Tasting
really
notes.
like your job. That's where you're going with this.
Yeah, tasting notes and the articles we tried them on, and so the mini corn dog was the first thing I tried it on, and it was overpowering to the mini corn dog. I thought it was very strong sauce, and my immediate thoughts were, boy, this would be better with almost like a what's that? What's the word I'm looking for? Roast beef kind of sandwich.
Okay.
Roast beef. Okay.
Cold cuts.
I know you were thinking like turkey. I almost wonder if it was be too strong for turkey too. And so then I had it on the chicken nugget, and it was better, but still not necessarily the perfect food article, I would say, for this particular sauce. I liked it. It's tangy, horseradishy. You taste a bit of mustard. You taste a bit of that creamy mayonnaise.
You love that word tangy. You love saying tangy. There's few things you love on this
Tangy
planet.
bang.
The two things you love on this planet are saying the word tangy and your job. You love your job. I know every week you just every time we hang out, you say, wow, I love my job.
It has a tang to it.
Satisfying and fulfilling and tangy bangy. That's how I describe my job.
It's tangy.
What about you, Tori? What did you think about it? Were you done with your tasting notes, Eric?
Yep, I'm done.
Okay, it's time for Tori's
He's done.
Good.
Yeah, I liked it. Well, obviously I liked it. I mentioned that before. I like it a lot.
How many jars do you think you've eaten of this in your entire lifetime?
Probably maybe 4 or 5.
That's it?
I mean, it's not something you eat every day.
Okay.
I'm
disappointed. I thought you were going to say like 40 or 50.
No, that's a lot.
Wow.
I'm with the chicken nuggets and corn dogs probably wouldn't be my absolute top favorite.
You phrase it to me like you're eating this every day for lunch in your childhood.
Do you eat ketchup every day?
Pretty close.
Come on. You're a grown man.
You should see how much I go through. I can tell you this. I have been through hundreds of jars of ketchup.
Hundreds.
Absolutely.
Holy smokes.
Absolutely.
Wow. I don't know. Maybe I'm not being as accurate as maybe I could be or should be, but I don't know. I mean, I do think it has a proper place, and I think that is maybe now on a chicken nugget, I did sort of like that. It's not the best, but on a sandwich, of course, on a cold cut sandwich. And I think a ham sandwich, like a chip chopped ham or a turkey is terrific. But yeah, so I think the consistency was very mayonnaise-y and the taste was very mustardy. I didn't get any horseradish like you eat.
Huh.
None.
I gotta be honest, I got zero horseradish either.
Yeah. I got hard vinegar. The smell is intense vinegar. Gives you a real slap in the
Would
face.
you say it's spirit vinegar?
Tough to say.
Take a stab. Live on the wild side.
Oof. Oh,
It's like
well,
on the wild side.
I don't know. I'm going to go with the obvious. I didn't look, I promise. White vinegar.
Yes,
makes
white
sense.
vinegar and spirit vinegar are the same thing. We had this debate. Eric still insists to this day that they're totally different things. They're not. It's been disproven many times.
But yeah, so I'm going to go keep it standard. I mean, it's obviously not something crazy like apple cider vinegar or nothing because it is strong. But yeah, so it's a mayonnaise smooth consistency with a sharp mustard vinegar bite. Yeah, and it's really good. I think it's terrific.
Yeah, I like this too, and I've had it before, and I think that we had it on like a cold cut sandwich night was the first time I had it. Eric's claiming he never had this before.
No, I did not say that. I said I
said
remember
this on
having
air
it.
that you'd never had it before. You said this last week. You're like, I've never had that.
I said I don't
before."
remember having it, and
Oh my
now
God.
I do
You say
remember having
so
it
many
once.
things that the listeners are going to be able to
Once
so
before.
easily disprove.
At Tori's, but it was weird. 'Cause
Yes.
when you were saying the label design and everything, I kind of remember it having. I don't remember it being out of a jar. I thought it had I thought it was still plastic, and I thought it had like a red cap. So I thought those blues.
It was definitely in a jar. 'Cause I remember getting out with a knife.
Yeah, it was a spreadable boy.
Yeah, it was definitely in a jar. Wrong yet again, Eric.
I know I didn't have it on the cold cut night.
Wrong.
On Durkee's sauce, salad, and sandwich.
Did you know that Depeche Mode actually wrote a song about you, Eric?
Oh, man.
Yeah, really?
It's called Wrong.
Nice.
Anywho, for me, I kind of I don't know. Like I tried to be kind of open-minded about this and like taste what I actually tasted, not what I expected to taste. My tasting from this was a little bit different from the last time, surprisingly, and I definitely know that you do get a sharp, heavy hand of vinegar. Like this is almost more vinegar per vinegar than vinegar, I would say. Like
Yeah.
somehow they managed to do the damn thing, because I know like when you open up a jar of white vinegar or a bottle of white vinegar, if you will, Eric, you get that sharp vinegar punch. And I honestly got like just as much from this, and it's clearly not all vinegar. So I'm impressed by how they managed to do that.
More than our gelatinous vinegar we even made ourselves.
Ooh.
I think so, actually,
Yeah.
to be quite honest with you. And I think that it has some sweetness to it, definitely. I got a very little bit of mustard to it, but not as much mustard as you would expect given the color. I definitely think it has some mayo-like taste to it as well. But honestly, the overwhelming thing, and I don't think this is because of the name, I think this is legitimately something I was tasting, is I think it actually tastes like turkey.
Really?
I think so.
I think you're cray-cray.
I didn't notice it as much until I tried it on just a toothpick on its own, and I honest to God think it tastes somewhat like turkey. To me, the thing that this tastes most like, you ever had those...
Did you brine your turkey to the point where it's just
No.
saturated in vinegar?
No, listen. So have you ever had those, that pickled cauliflower that's like bright yellow? You know what I'm
Yes.
talking about?
Yes.
Eric?
I've seen it. I've
Yeah.
never had it. I
Yeah, I've
don't
never
think-
had
To
that,
me-
that type of shit. Don't tickle me.
To me, this sauce, this Durkee's famous sauce, tastes to me like if you were to make a pickled mustard, like not quite spicy, but like a pickled mustard turkey, and like canned it in a jar in vinegar. That's what this tastes like to me. I just took a big old bite out of it.
You are wacky.
No, that's exactly what it tastes like to me. It tastes like pickled mustard turkey in a canned jar of
When
vinegar.
you talk about pickling meats,
Yes.
you lose me, Adam. You lose me. I don't
You
know.
are
I
a
didn't
wacky
say-
man.
I didn't say I wanted to try that. I'm saying that's what it tastes like. That's what it reminds me of. That's what the mental image that came to my mind was, weird.
Wow.
That being said, I do kind of like it. It was a bit strong on what we tried it on. It was overpowering on the, definitely overpowering on the corn dogs. It went better, I think, with the chicken nuggets because it had more of that like savory, greasy richness to it to kind of cut it back a little bit. But I think the one thing that bears mentioning is that I don't really know that this is made to be a dip like this.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think it's really too strong to be used as a dip. I think it's kind of like if you gave someone, yellow mustard and told them to dip a chicken nugget into it, I think they would have roughly the same reaction, like, wow, this is pretty potent to be trying something to dip into it. Now, if you're accustomed to it, you might come to like that, like the dough weenies, or a corn doggy. I like to dip straight into mustard. Sure. But I think that's definitely like an acquired taste, and I think those are also, pretty pungent sometimes. So
curious. How about on a BLT sandwich?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think to me, I would definitely slap this on like a turkey club or something like that, or maybe even a BLT, something like that. I would definitely throw this on a cold cut sandwich, but I'd put a thinner layer. I'd go a little with a lighter hand on it, and I think with that, the flavors would kind of blend a little bit better, and it wouldn't be so overpowering. And I think I'd like that quite a bit.
Do you see yourself using it on like half a sandwich and using another condiment on the other?
Yeah, I actually wouldn't be opposed to using some more mayonnaise, some more
Exactly.
Duke's.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Exactly what I was thinking.
I would say like maybe subbing traditional mustard out with this.
Yeah.
That was kind of my thought.
I think mustards can be, an interesting, strong flavor. I think it's wild how sometimes they can hit a lot more than other mustards. It's really it's
like that sweet Bavarian mustard. That was a dud.
That was a dud.
Right. But yeah, I think that'll about do it for our tasting notes. So I would say, without further ado, it's time for Eric's favorite segment of the show.
The favorite.
The ingredients.
Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued by this one. So, a whole lot of flavor packed in here.
Hold on. Let me take some guesses here. I'm going to definitely say vinegar's obviously got to be in the top 3.
No doubt.
Yep.
I'm definitely thinking there's some high fructose corn syrup in there as well. And no.
Turkey extract.
Turkey extract, yeah. Pickled turkey. Ground up pickled turkey. All right, hit us with the ingredients, Eric.
All right, ingredient number 1 is soybean oil, followed by water, distilled vinegar, mainly in the top 3.
Yo.
Sugar, mustard, salt, whole egg solids, modified food starch.
Whole egg solids?
Yeah. Yeah.
Egg solids.
Gum.
Bang, bang.
There we
Ooh,
go.
yo,
I wonder if he was
bang,
paying
bang.
attention or not.
He wasn't. I
You
was.
slipped that one past me.
Spice extractives, which is weird.
Extractives.
What?
That's what it says.
That's not
and it
a
says
word.
Contains eggs.
That's not a word.
Contains eggs. Let me see this.
Spice extractives.
Extractives. It sounds like something on that space game I've been playing.
Sounds like something you take when you're constipated. Give me that extractive.
Am I wrong?
No, you're on the money. I thought you were struggling, but no.
Oftentimes I am.
You're on the nose, brother.
So hold on. Go back through that one more time so it's slower. Give me at least the first top 5 there.
Soybean oil,
Makes sense.
water,
Yes.
distilled vinegar,
Okay.
sugar,
Okay, sugar. So that's where the sweetness was coming from.
and mustard. There's your top 5.
All right. Okay. I guess that's what I was expecting. And where was the where's the mayonnaise thing coming from?
Soybean
egg
oil
solids.
and the egg solids.
Egg solids.
And the oil.
Okay, oil and egg. Okay, yeah, all right. Makes total sense. I don't like that they call it egg solids. I would have rather if it had said like mayonnaise, contains soybean oil and egg solids or something like that. But just egg solids on its own sounds vile.
Tori, you don't mind if I remove this sticker, right?
Go nuts, bro.
I'm curious where this wonderful sauce originates from.
Jersey.
Jersey. Well, you already know it. Look at that.
Wow. Knows the history.
I wouldn't
Yep.
even bother peeling the sticker off.
boned up on this.
Jersey. Starts with a P. City in Jersey. Parsippany? Is that a city in Jersey?
Sure. Everyone knows a Parsippany.
Oh, I'm taking a medium stance on this.
All right.
Now I'm peeling it back to check.
Yeah, you best be checking.
We have the website open. We can look here. Let's look at the About section
yeah,
on the website.
contact us section.
Our commitment to quality, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't seem to say on here.
What about the contact?
Contact us.
Come on, baby.
Come on, baby.
Ah.
No contact. No contact allowed. Yeah, it doesn't say on here what. Yeah, they give you nothing. They're not putting themselves out there.
It just says B&G Foods Incorporated. It actually doesn't even say anything on the bottle.
Wow.
Kind of weird.
Durkee seems to have a lot of different
Maybe I
products.
in space too.
Now here, look at this. I've definitely seen. Now this is interesting. They have a lineup of spices like herbs and stuff. Now
Oh.
I've definitely seen those in before, like in a grocery store.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that definitely looks familiar. Although I didn't realize it was the ones of the same ilk as this sauce.
I thought McCormick sort of ruled that block, the spice block.
They do, but I've definitely seen this. I thought it was like some off-brand. That's weird. I didn't recognize it until now. They've got a lot of spices and stuff.
Considering how flavor-packed their sauce is, I bet their spices are probably on point.
They've got basically all your typical spices that you would expect. I'm not going to read all those because there's hundreds of them.
Got even extracts. That's cool.
Imitation butter flavor.
I feel like I've seen this too. They've got these extracts and imitation root beer flavor.
Turkey extract?
Does it say turkey extract? Turkey extract? Pickled turkey extract? No, it doesn't have that. Food coloring for coloring your pickled turkey yellow.
There you go.
Gravy.
Making it turkey colored again.
They've got all your
there's your brown gravy.
There's a little bit more gravy, better garlic.
Oh, yeah, there's a throwback to last week. See, Tori, brown gravy.
Yeah.
You big dumb. See how that's different than turkey gravy?
What?
Which is not pictured.
Oh, you
brown.
You damn dumbass.
Here's your typical ass juice gravy, as I call it. Au jus.
I couldn't be any more disappointed in myself.
Chicken gravy. Here, there's a color difference. Chicken gravy is like a tan color. Brown gravy is, what color is that, would you say?
I would say that's a very dark brown.
Yeah, there you go. Big brain time. Country gravy.
Oh, I know what country gravy is, you numbskull.
What about country gravy with sausage?
Yeah, I can figure that one out.
Now, here's what I'm wondering. This seems like it's in a packet form. How do you make sausage in a packet form? That seems concerning, right?
Right.
It's like oatmeal. It's like dehydrated.
That sounds vile. But yeah, brown gravy is its own thing, as we learned last week.
I'll be darned.
One result for sauces.
That's all you need.
This is it. All those spices, all those extracts, all those gravies, and the one thing they come up with for a sauce is the famous sauce.
It all culminates in the famous sauce. And why wouldn't it?
They've got a bazillion different seasoning mixes, as you would expect, just a combination of spices. Yeah, they've got oodles of stuff, but only one famous sauce.
It is Persephone.
Oh, you got it.
I did find it.
Very good. Persephone. I honestly thought you were wrong on that, if we're being honest.
Woo!
Very good.
I'm on fire.
Can you spell Persephone?
Nope.
I was hoping Eric would. He was the one looking at it, but...
If you took the bottle away from me, I still couldn't spell it.
What?
I could read it off of here, sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Read off the fucking bottle for the listeners, you piece of dog shit.
Persippany. Persephone.
Parsippany. I don't know.
Interesting.
Parsippany.
I feel like that must be a thing out there or something, right? Like that sounds like a noun. Interesting. Well, that was actually kind of an interesting little deep dive for a website. I feel like we haven't had a lot of good website recently.
I'm really curious, what came first? Were they like a spice company that they made this sauce? Or were they like, hey, we made this famous sauce and then we branched out?
That's an excellent question.
I'm going to guess, here's my speculation. I'm guessing that the spices and the seasonings and the gravies are the working man thing, and then this famous sauce is the dude's, like the owner's passion project. This was like what he really wanted to make, but he's got to sell the spices to pay the bills, you know? He's like, but this is his magnum opus, the famous Turkey's famous sauce. The only thing he attached that specific thing to, because he knows all the rest of it was just descriptions. Like, this is cilantro. This is pork gravy. This is Durkee's. Brought to you in collaboration with Coca-Cola and Barks Root Beer and Soft Spoken. Famous sauce.
Brought to you by.
So I think that
roping everybody in here.
I do think that is probably some sort of like a passion project for this guy. Like that's what he really wanted to make.
It's interesting, and the fact that he only has the one. I guess so. He made it. This is his passion, and no more, nothing more. Is spent all of his creative efforts to make this one sauce.
He did it. He
the week
crushed
after
it.
he did this, he died.
Wow.
Completed his life's work.
That's right.
You know
Not a
what?
happy man.
You know, I think before we get into the ratings, there's one other kind of key thing I wanted to mention about this, and I think that you guys will follow right along with this too. Every other like special sauce, famous blah 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 horseshit sauce, everything else that I've ever seen someone make, and I'm thinking in particular like, you know, the special sauce from McDonald's on the Big Macs, or like Arby's horsey sauce, or any other restaurant, or like the Chick-fil-A sauce, whatever, you know.
What about Arby's sauce? You lump that one in there too?
Sure, I'm just saying like basic. We already got one from Arby's, Eric. No,
What about zesty sauce, BK?
Yes.
Okay.
My point is
Any other examples?
my point is that all of those sauces are something that can be replicated from the combination of other sauces.
Yep.
I don't know if this can be, because think about it. Like it's got some mayo to it, it's got some mustard to it, but where are you going to get like that straight up vinegar punch from, and things like in the sweetness? You know, like I don't feel like, I mean, maybe, yeah, you could say they used some other alterations there, but I don't think this is something you could just easily make by mixing other, like, pre-made condiments like those other ones are.
That's on the nose. I think that's money. Oh, yeah.
It's interesting. There's really not a lot of like revealing ingredients here. It's these spice extractives that like really must give this, you know,
well,
it's punch or something. I mean, the punch comes from the vinegar, but I mean, the extractives are what really gives it the unique flavor that you're saying.
Maybe the pickled turkey flavor.
Because otherwise, it's mustard and mayo. I mean, that's what's on the back. You're saying you can't mix it, but that's literally by the ingredients you could.
You could, but what I'm saying is you're not going to get this. Like, you can make zesty sauce with just mixing other sauces, you know what I mean? You can't make this. Sure, you could modify with other ingredients, you know, but I don't know. To me, I see a distinction there. Maybe there's not one. Maybe I'm reading too much into it.
There's something. You're onto something.
I'm definitely on something.
Like I said, I think the spice...
Much like Eric.
You know, whatever hidden spices he's got going on here is a unique, blend.
The extractives.
The extractives, which is just a weird way of saying it, but you know, that he's obviously not willing to reveal, because otherwise it would no longer be his famous sauce. Whoever invented this.
Durkee
himself.
Mr. Durkee, yeah.
Boy.
I feel bad for that person with the last name of Durkee.
It's not that bad of a name. It's
Quincy
not worse
Francis
than your last
Durkee.
name.
Oh, you know the guy?
Yeah.
Personally?
Oh, personally, yeah.
Nice.
Eric, Tori actually grew up in Panopoly or whatever it is.
Quincy Francis Durkee.
All right, well, I think it's time for us to get on to the ratings portion of the show. Let's go. Let's end with Tori for once. I'll go first for once.
Oh,
this is interesting for me. So, for me personally, I liked it a fair amount on the chicken nugget. I didn't care for it as much on the corn dog, and I didn't care for it really on its own. And I know that before we had it on like some lunch meat stuff, and I thought it was quite good there. But it is still a pretty bold take with the vinegar. I think for me, I would definitely be curious to try more of this, especially now that I know about the wonderful combination that is Duke's mayonnaise. And I would definitely like to try this on, a sandwich with some other more intense flavors. You know, especially I would think maybe like an Italian hero type sandwich with some of those other like a spicy capicola and some gabagool or something like that in there, you know?
Would you actually put Italian dressing on it too? Let that all mix?
I might, I very well might.
It could work.
So, but at the end of the day, you know, the thing about it is, you know, I think it would be lovely in combination with those things, but at the end of the day, as listeners know well, we rate sauces here.
Bingo.
We don't rate Italian hero sandwiches with Duke's mayo and a good stripe of Italian dressing. We have to rate the sauce on its own. So, I'm going to put a little asterisk next to this, but I think I'm going to come in with it at a 5.5, which I know is going to break Tori's heart.
Oh, wow. Ouch.
I know it's going to break Tori's heart, but for me, I need to I think I want to do like a soft spoken rewind on this. I like it, but I don't know. Today just wasn't particularly inspiring, and I was actually a little bit let down because I remember liking it better last time I had it, but I think it was because we had it on the cold cuts.
Wow.
Interesting.
So yeah, sad as it is to say, that's where I got to be true to my heart. That's where I got to come in with it tonight, pending a soft-spoken asterisk.
Soft-spoken rewind.
Hopefully, we'll have some soft-spoken rewinds with the sauce because we have Thanksgiving.
We've got a lot more of it coming
right around the corner,
and it's prime sandwich season.
A lot of turkeys, right?
You know, for me, it was interesting. I do not remember tasting it particularly, as I had said before,
and that much of an impression.
Still say, it was a very short trial, I know Tori I remember Tori like being in his dining room and be like, oh, did you get to try this? And I was like, oh,
yeah, we tried it at like the very end of the night.
Yeah.
Like we were getting ready to leave and Tori's like, oh, forgot to crack this open. Come here, try some.
That's right.
This is the crack, guys. You gotta try it.
Forgot about that.
Dip your fingers in.
Yeah, literally, that's how it was. It was like a dip of a finger on the way out the door.
The other thing you gotta remember at the end of the night, what other effect is being had upon us there?
That's right.
A little bit of the liquid sauce,
yeah,
seeped into our system, so might color your judgment.
And so, the smell and then the initial bite, it wowed me. I think the sauce really, it is bold. It's big flavor, which is always what I like big and I like bold flavors. So,
and I love butthole.
But I was a little bit,
wow.
I was a little bit put off by foods we were tasting it on. I was, like I said, immediately thinking of what it could be on better.
Right.
like you were saying, and it's tough to just extrapolate out just the sauce. And so I was going to come in with a 6 because I do like it. I think I like it more. And I actually went back, and Adam was gracious enough to leave me half of his food, so I managed to put more sauce, and I had more Durkees. I had a second helping here. So I'm going to give it a 6.5 even.
A 6.5. Wow. I think that's cold, brother.
Uh-oh. Still not living up to Tori's expectations.
I think they're both cold. Yeah, man.
I knew I was going to break Tori's heart.
I mean, you were out there asking for more. Ooh, let me get more of that Durkees. Yeah. And then go ahead and give it a sauce. I don't know, man. What can I say, man? I like it. I picked it. It was my week to pick. And, of course, I picked it. I've been thinking about it for a long time. I mean, it's dang good. It got a lot of things that I like. It got the creamy mayonnaise. It has the bite of the vinegar. Of course, we love vinegar around here. And this is no different. It has everything. It has everything you could want. I didn't think it was really that bad on either of those articles.
So you've had 4 bottles in your entire lifetime?
I mean, well, you're even saying you go light, go light, go light. I mean, and yeah, you sort of do. You know, you're not going to sit there and eat it with a spoon. But 4 may have been a bad number. I don't know. But
wait, 4 bottles. Okay.
4 bottles.
Yeah,
He's saying he maybe has had more.
All right.
I may have had more, but yeah, I like it. I straight up like it, and I'm not gonna. My rating isn't gonna.
No one here disliked it.
Yeah. Well, apparently, 5.
No, that's our average. God damn it.
Asterisks.
No.
I'm gonna drive up the average, and I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Okay.
Nice.
Because I like it a
I'm
lot.
gonna change mine down to a 3.5. I'm kidding.
Well, there you have it.
No, I think that's pretty fair. I mean, I definitely think that this we have talked about this sauce. This is one of the ones, like, probably our top 10 most talked about, and for being a sauce that we hadn't actually tried yet, I think that's pretty impressive. Like, we talk about Duke's Mayo a lot because that made a big impression on some of us.
Yeah.
Eric.
I eat that almost every day.
Not everyone.
2 of us. It made a very big impression.
Haven't had it since.
Rated at perfect 10s.
Perfect 10. That's insane.
I eat it on a regular basis, too. And honestly, it brightens up my day every single time.
Almost every day I eat Duke's mayonnaise.
Yeah, I don't know about every day, but I definitely eat it on a regular basis now. And I can't even barely tell you the last time I touched Miracle Whip. So
thank goodness for that.
Much less a Hellman's mayonnaise. Fuck that. No place in my refrigerator anymore. Only Duke's.
I have too many sauces in my refrigerator is what it comes down to. I haven't touched Miracle Whip probably since we did Duke's Mayo as well. Just haven't touched it.
Well, I know Durkees won't get a loving home with either, you knuckleheads, so I'm going to go ahead and take it home.
No, take it home. I mean, I would, don't get me wrong, please. I would definitely be like willing to experiment with this and try it on some more things. But I know I didn't do it justice to your heart, Tori.
No. Maybe coating it in a meatloaf maybe would be good.
Wow.
And then throw it in the oven?
That's
actually,
unique.
You know what? It's not a bad idea because you're getting a lot of vinegar out of there, which I think would go nice with the meatloaf. I'd probably try it afterwards with the meatloaf or on like a meatloaf sandwich or something. I think would be better.
You ever had meatloaf with spinach wrapped into it?
No.
What?
Yeah, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. That's one of my...
You would. There's quinoa in there, too?
Probably. Oh, yeah. There's some other fillers and whatnot. It's a meatloaf. Anything goes in meatloaf. So,
sawdust.
Some sawdust.
I actually could kind of see quinoa being good. The only... I don't know if I should say this on air. I was going to say...
We'll let it rip.
All right. I was going to say, the only thing that freaks me out about, like, meat things, you ever see, like, when you get meat and it has, like, a cyst in it, you know? That's what I could see, like, with the quinoa, like a clump of quinoa in there might turn you off a little bit if you got a visual in there in a meatloaf.
All right.
Wow-wee.
That's the only thing I could see being a little whack. I don't know if I would need... I don't feel like spinach adds a lot in something like a meatloaf, though, does it?
It gives
just
it
water, right? And green. I know you love
but
when
there's
foods
a
are
flavor.
green.
There's a flavor to it. There is to spinach.
I don't think there's much flavor in spinach. I'm going to take a hard stance on that.
So I've had ones with spinach rolled into it. I think it'd be good with this like mustard,
rolled into it?
Yeah, it's like rolled. It's actually like rolled. Pinwheel? Yes.
That's weird as fuck, dude.
And then I've also had one that was at a restaurant. It was a rosemary and sage meatloaf. And
now that I could get on board with.
Amazing. But it was like huge hunks of it too. Like I mean, it was like again rolled into it like a pinwheel.
Was there quinoa in there?
I don't know what was in there. It was at a restaurant.
How about cysts?
Definitely not cysts. I'm not even sure what you mean by cysts and meats.
You've never seen a cyst in a meat?
I don't think I have. I mean, I've
I'm not going to show you images.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good on that.
Turn you vegetarian.
Probably couldn't hurt. But anyways.
Anyways.
Fighting words with Tori there.
No.
The meat lover.
Well, I think that's going to do it for us this week here on the Durkee's famous sauce. thank you so much again, Tori, for bringing that for us. I know it didn't get quite the warmest reception that you're hoping for, but honestly, I did like it. I just didn't give it the highest rating. I gave it above average, and I think that's the important thing to remember. You know, we rate sauces here, as Eric is wont to say, and at the end of the day, sometimes I think we err on the side of giving an average sauce closer to a 7, and I think that, you know, I'm just bringing it back down to this is above average. That's what I'm giving it.
Wow.
I'll stand by that.
Quite the justification.
Don't you fucking tempt me to go lower.
Dang.
Pray I do not alter this deal further.
I like it.
But all that being said,
I think it grows on you.
Eric, do you have any closing thoughts you'd like to share with the listeners?
Closing thoughts. I do have a little, what is this, fortune cookie.
He brought a fortune cookie thing.
Yeah. Earlier this week, I opened up this one, and I just thought it was very...
Say apropos.
Apropos.
I know
poignant
you love
to me.
saying apropos.
It's right up there with tangy.
Can't say appropriate. Apropos.
There are dreamers and there are achievers, and the difference between the two is action.
Wow.
Some people have been harping on me to be more active and action-oriented.
You ought to frame that and put it on your wall.
And, it might go with me to work. I got another one at work, too.
Same thing.
What's the one at work say?
I think it says, like, it's something to the extent of, like, you know, if it can be conceived and believed, it can be achieved. Something like that. It's pretty good, though.
Why do today what you can put off till tomorrow? Oh, boy. Well, now it's time for our listener favorite segment, Touching Thoughts with Tori.
A listener favorite.
I don't know. Maybe.
Wow.
I'm sure it is.
You never know.
It's one of my favorite sections.
That's one of your favorites? Wow.
You always bring it home with a really good,
Bring it home.
wholesome.
Wow. I was going to slaughterhouse you over bringing that fortune cookie wrapper over. But since you said such nice things, I'll let you go.
I'll slaughter with you.
But I was going to let you have it. But for the sake of, whatever, I'll let you slide. Well, for the sake of being touching and trying to be friendly here and maybe being appreciated. So here we are, a week. Thanksgiving is a week over. Excuse me. It was a week ago. Hope everyone had a nice one. But the whole idea behind Thanksgiving, right? You're giving thanks. You're trying to appreciate and be grateful for those around you. And in the event, if you found yourself maybe not quite as appreciated as maybe you thought or something like that, that doesn't stop you or doesn't mean that you should stop doing the best you can. Because you should do it for your sake and not for everyone else's. So and if you feel that way here a week away from Thanksgiving, that you didn't quite feel as thanked or as grateful for as you should, I apologize for that. That's terrible. But we love you and we're proud of you. And thank you for spending that hour with us. My time is over. The time now is yours. So God love you.
Your time is over? That sounds concerning.
Well, I'm trying to work out like a nice little line.
My time is over now.
Well, it is. I mean, if I'm done talking.
You will hear no more.
Run the credits,
on this earthly plane.
Oh, he's coming from another dimension.
That's right. Absolutely true. Well, I think that was, I'm really, like I said, I'm happy that we finally got around to doing this. I don't know if any of the listeners were as curious to hear about it as we were excited to talk about it, but I know it's certainly been a long time coming. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much once again for listening. As Tori said, happy Thanksgiving last week. Hope you enjoyed that. And we'll be around here for at least a little while longer. And so I guess all that being said, catch us next week. Good night.
Oh no, it's the end of the show. Thank goodness there's several other episodes waiting just for you. Check out our Instagram. We like to have some fun over there. We post the sauce bottle pics if you're curious, and the occasional meme. That's going to be Sauce Spoken official. Despite our humble nature, we are accepting donations, believe it or not. Look us up on PayPal. That's going to be @SauceSpoken. Hey, and if you like what you hear, grease those palms, babe. Lastly, roll up your sleeves and get into the nitty-gritty. It's saucespoken.wordpress.com. We have show notes and details. Check it out. Share us with a family member or a friend. If you're enjoying it, I'm certain they will too. Good night.
Hello and welcome. Today in the show, we're going to be talking about Durkees. Get your dicks out for Durkees.
Actually, not bad.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We love it when you guys listen to us. This is Soft Spoken.
Wow. Imitation. Truly the sincerest form of flattery. Wow. Oh, get your that's a good one. So excited. You're a jerk.